Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host, Khalid Mohidin. This is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. So the big question is Faf du Plessis a no-brainer selection in the side? That is going to be the main talking point, and we're going to be talking about that today, of course. So we're going to bring that talking points into place, and we're going to talk about the CSA press conference that just took place about the new governance structure, which we're going to bring Aditya onto the show to obviously talk to us about both. But before we get going, before we get started, before we speak about anything else, if you are new to this channel and you haven't subscribed quite yet, please go ahead, click subscription, keep the subscribe button, click the notification bell for all future videos. So let's get into it. Let's welcome Aditya. Welcome to the show, Aditya. I think the best place for us to go with this right now is to obviously talk straight about Faf du Plessis. Let's start with that. Faf, you wrote an excellent piece today. You got obviously some excellent quotes over there as well from your part, and giving some insights into that. So, me personally, I think Faf is a no-brainer selection based on his form in India, of course, and others think he's excellent over there. Whether he's going to bat in the opening spot or not is the question. But what are your thoughts on that, and what pushed you to write that article today on cricketfanaticsmag.com?
Absolutely. He is a no-brainer selection, and I've been saying it for pretty much a year now because he's an incredibly versatile player. You know, he has the knack of picking the gaps on tough wickets. Remember, he's played in I think this is his 11th IPL season, and apart from two of those, he essentially played in Chennai for about eight of those. And Chennai is among the most challenging wickets to bat on. So for him, as coming in as a South African, inexperienced South African, let's not forget, in his first season as player in 2012, he scored 398 runs. So that tells you what a mindset he's got. And from that point up to now, he's only evolved as a player. And what really motivated me to write that piece was that oftentimes I think CSK is such a mix of superstars that, sometimes Faf can go under the radar there, but his contribution needs to be highlighted because for the last couple of years he was batting alongside Shane Watson, and Faf's role in that partnership was to hang on and play as long as possible while Watson would take off. So people actually didn't even know what Faf's ball striking ability can be. But this time he's shown us what he can do when he's in an aggressive mood and really wants to take the bowling on. So through over six games, let's say first game he was out for a duck. So over 5 games, he's been batting at a strike rate of 140, which is incredible. Uh, he is a fantastic batsman, and I do think he should be opening the batting in the World Cup.
Mhm. Yeah, I think so too. I'm also leaning towards that and having Temba at three. So that's my thought process with regards to that. And then having obviously Rassi at four, and then having Abid de Villiers at five, and then someone like David Miller at six. And then you can bowl your all rounders from seven, eight, and even nine if you really want to push it. But I think maybe seven, eight have all rounders over there. Spinning all rounder, second spinner, of course, and then either Chris Morris or Andile Pechelquayo or one of those guys from that ilk. Sisanda Magala, there's plenty of all-rounders available. Maybe a Michael Pretorius can put up his hand. So there's so many guys that are in that position that can maybe put up there. Maybe Dwayne Pretorius can show that he's can do take that, Vian Mulder. And then you can have your bowlers. I think your main bowlers are KG Rabada and Anrik Nokia, and then your spinner. Now, Shamsi or Tahir is going to be the question. So Faf, excellent. I think we can just conclude with this conversation now and say that Faf is an excellent batsman. He's been excellent in India. He's been excellent in the IPL with the pressure on, and as you can see his stats on the screen. This is what he scored so far, and this is his average and strike rate so far in the IPL. So excellent performance from him all around, and we'd obviously love to see him in the side. But something else happened today, Aditya. You attended a long press conference of over an hour. We just uploaded it now onto the channel if you guys want to get more details. But Aditya, just give us a quick overview on it, because I'm understanding that CSA have come to a conclusion of what their new governance structure is going to look like. I'm going to put a graphic on the board while you explain it, but just give us some insight, just an overview of what happened at this particular meeting.
Right. So uh, we'll begin with that special general meeting uh, where CSA's members council had essentially voted against the memorandum of incorporation, which led to the Minister of Sport, Art and Culture, Mr. Nathi Tetwa, to pretty much strip Cricket South Africa of its powers to run cricket in the country. Then
Yeah.
there was an emergency meeting um, at which it was unanimously concluded, and the members' council voted in favor of the memorandum of incorporation, which, based on the Nicholson recommendations of 9 years ago, would have a board which with a majority of independent members. So for the first 3 years, starting June  12th, which is when the annual general meeting will take place. For the first 3 years, there are going to be 15 board members, eight of which will be independent, five of which will be non-independent, and two of which will be executives. That's your chief executive officer and chief financial officer. And for that, after that 3 year period, um, the number of members in the board will reduce to 13 because the government wants to have a pretty lean management structure and wants its governance to be as effective as possible. And uh, the independent directors in the board will come from SAICA Legal Practices Council, um, a person who's nominated from the Members Council, a person nominated from SACA, who is supposed to have some sort of international cricket experience. And the former president of CSA will also nominate someone from their midst to complete the panel. Um, but the established terms of reference will be finalized in due course. Um, yeah, and the minister was there as well, and he stated that he stated that the relationship between Cricket South Africa and the government was pretty healthy during this period of time, although it might appear um, as if there was quite a lot of animosity there. Uh, but in saying that, essentially, what the minister said that uh, it's important for like, sporting codes to have uh, governance structures that are in accordance with the corporate governance principles of South Africa. And keeping that in mind, the structure, the memorandum of incorporation structure is important for Cricket South Africa um, to implement. And he said that for other sporting codes in the country, they shouldn't be waiting for a government intervention. Um, they should be proactive in the way that um, players play the sport and how the sport is governed in the country. But in saying that, he was happy that the memorandum of incorporation was finally approved, and governance of cricket in South Africa will take a step in a new and hopefully positive direction.
Yeah, because I mean, all of us were scared about that. We were all talking about how much cricket means to us, and we wanted to stand up. And obviously, we had a letter ready to the minister and to the members' council. We were going to speak up as a fan base. We got a whole lot of fans from around South Africa to contribute and give their say on what cricket means to them. And we all got together to write this letter. But then, as soon as the evening that we got everything in, that was 12 o'clock the night. I had the letter ready by about 9 o'clock. 12 o'clock the evening, they released a statement that they were going to clear everything up. So there's no point in having that, and that's how we we go ahead with the rest of the things. And currently, there's a tour that's happening against West Indies, so we are probably going to get that in June. And then after that, we'll obviously it's supposed to be two tests and a couple of limited overs matches as well. And then we're obviously going to get Sri Lanka and Ireland first, and then Sri Lanka, and then India before the World Cup. So there's a lot of cricket that needs to take place so that South Africa can sort out what they're going to do. Obviously, this new governance structure is so important. So we've given you a basic understanding about that, and very interesting from that part. Aditya, is there anything that you picked up in the meeting that is a warning sign, or do you think that things are going to go smoothly from here on?
Um, you know, what remains to be seen is what really happens on the 12th. I think now the next. So before that, actually, the interim board had a 3 to 6 month mandate. So that 6 month mandate ends now. So we have to see what they choose to do. Whether they choose to seek an extension, which I think they will, because that's the most efficient thing to do, and have a smooth transition of roles and responsibilities to the new board. But the next most important date for South African cricket is the 12th of June, when that AGM takes place and the nomination of directors happens. Because um, how that dynamic goes, how that process unfolds is very important, because that's how it's going to be from now on. So yeah, new times, interesting times, slightly slightly unnerving, I suppose, but overall, it looks like things are headed in the right direction, and um, hopefully, the structure can bring about some sort of stability in South African cricket.
Yeah.
Because uh, in the piece that I wrote today, you look at what Harsha Bogle said and what Simon Dew said, about the fact that the South African captaincy is a burden because of all the
Yes.
politics in South African cricket, and it
Yeah.
seems that players who sort of relinquish that responsibility tend to do better, which I think is quite sad, because it's an honor to be the captain of your country, and that role and responsibility should only propel your performance, not hinder it.
And all we want in South African cricket is obviously in the future to be able to have a system where everybody gets to be picked on merit, and that the quota system isn't there around forever. We all want to get to a stage where we're producing players of all colors everywhere, that of a certain standard that can be picked according to merit. That's what we want to be one day in South Africa. That's where we want to be headed. And a good governance structure, or a good CSA board that is solid, will be able to make sure that the transformation policies are in place at the low level, so that we can start building those blocks for the future and build a pipeline that is creating quality players all around the country. But guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Aditya, thanks a lot for coming on the show. Guys, go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all updates. Don't forget to obviously look at the detailed press conference, which is on our channel, that we just uploaded a couple of 10-20 minutes ago. So go ahead if you want to get more details on this whole governance structure. Thanks a lot for tuning in, everybody, and we'll see you again Sunday with the Sunday podcast. Let us know on Twitter, let us know on Facebook, let us know on Instagram what you would like us to speak about on Sunday. Otherwise, I'm just going to pick a topic and have my friends on once again, and we're going to chat. But let us know. It can be something non-cricket related as well in between, if you want that to be want that to be the case. You can even comment on this video as well below to let us know what you'd like to listen to. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and we'll see you guys again. Thanks, everybody. Cheers. Have a great weekend and a great evening.